The Committee on Parole is called back to order. The time is 12:59. Our next case is Mr. Troy Guidera. Mr. Guidera, would you please give us your full name and DOC number?
Troy T. Guidera, 33, 35, 36.
Thank you very much, sir. Mr. Guidera, let me explain our process to you. First, I'm going to read some information into the record, and then the board is going to conduct a parole interview with you. At the end, you'll be allowed to make a brief statement before the board votes. Do you understand our procedure?
Yes, sir.
This is the matter of Troy K. Guidera, DOC number 333536, date of birth December the 27th of 1966. He's a seventh-time offender. He has a parole eligibility date of March 15th of 2021, an adjusted good time date of July 31st of 2040, and a full-term date of February the 17th of 2055. He is currently serving 46 years, 2 months, and 10 days on the following offenses. 3 fourth offense DWIs, 1 having been adjudicated a habitual offender. Is all of that fairly accurate, Mr. Guidera?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Guidera, your case has been assigned to Mr. Pete Freeman. He will begin our questioning. Would you please answer any questions he might have?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Guidera, how old are you?
56, sir.
Okay, and what's your educational level?
On the math, comprehension, 12.9. On the math applied, 10.9. Reading 8.6, and language 10.1.
Okay, like you, so you're working on your GED over there?
Yes, sir. I was all the way up until the pandemic started. Then I had to be moved on outside the compound because of security reasons, and I just got on a paint crew over there and tried to get my paint back in. That way, if I do make parole, I have my painting under control already. I've been working for them over there.
Guidera, you had a 46-year sentence. How long have you served?
Been right at a little over 13 years right now, sir.
All right. Have you ever received any treatment for your DWIs? Alcohol?
Yes, sir. Since I've been in here, I have.
About prior to that, did you do any inpatient treatment?
Yes, sir. I went to a 28-day inpatient pro treatment, Fountain Blue. And when I finished there, they decided that I didn't qualify for the rest of the, I guess you would call outpatient treatment. And brought me back to court and resentenced me.
So how long in your life would you say you served due to DWI? Give me an estimate.
Probably about 25 years.
You have strong law enforcement opposition from the DA and the sheriff. Your mother and your sister support you. You have a terrible record. I mean, your supervision history is not good. A lot of revocations. Don't look like you ever hardly ever made it off of probation without getting revoked or parole. You had 17 felony arrests as a juvenile, starting at age 10. You had 13 charges of DWI with 9 convictions. I mean, what could you tell me to make me feel that I could let you out there and you wouldn't go back to drinking?
Well, sir, since I've been incarcerated, I've steadily been better in anything I do. I try to better myself. And now I realize that I have an alcohol problem that I didn't realize that I had an alcohol problem until since I've been incarcerated this time. Since I came to Hunts and went through the RDAP and the transition and the field program, and programs that help you instead of throwing you in prison and saying, fend for yourself, and when your day comes to release you, we're throwing you out and fend for yourself again. They don't address that no more like you did back then. I feel to believe that I've come a long ways in life, and I made mistakes in my life. But I'm fully aware of that, you know, my actions speak, you know, my focus shows that I constantly tried to better myself, and I did better myself. As far as I'm concerned, I'm 150% better than I ever was years ago. Yeah, I mean, since I've been incarcerated, you know, I have one work offense for missing one day of school. And that's my work. And for the write-ups is for, I had one fight in over 13 years, a simple fight. So I'm doing really, really good as far as I'm concerned, but I'm not 100% sure what y'all expect out of me, but I highly believe that I'm ready to go back in society and make a difference for the people who don't know about the disease of alcoholism. I got 7 grandkids. I like to at least address them. I don't even know if they believe in God or not yet. I've been locked up 13 years this time, and really, the only perfect people I talk to is my mom and my sister. Every once in a blue moon, my daughters. I mean, I'm just trying everything I can to better myself for the better people when I get out. And I'm 56, so if I don't get out there and try to teach them wrong from right, from what I'm understanding, my daughters and them, I don't really know what's going on, so I can't say, but my sister keeps me up. Hey, your grandkids need you out there. The mothers ain't holding up their end of they have problems out there and they need the football. So I took every program. I stay in AANA. I went through the field program since my last board and many abuse and addiction courses. I think I've done everything and tried to better myself in any way I can since I've been incarcerated. And I'll never be the person that I was that I came in here. Back then, you'll never see that in me again. That ain't never ever gonna happen again.
Okay. I see you took Living in Balance 1 and 2. What did you learn from that class?
The living in balance, it makes you realize what led you to wanting to abuse alcohol or drugs. So you had to, me in my case, it was because my 5-year-old son got killed in an automobile accident when I was working on a church in Long Beach, Mississippi. So it kind of, and then my family owned the lounge in Mandeville, right in 59 190, from 89 to 92, I think. And I really had serious problems until I turned it over to the Lord. Because when my son was killed in a car accident, I wasn't in the vehicle. But that took everything out of me. My dad died 2 years after that, and we still owned the lounge. So my little alcohol problem turned into a serious alcohol problem, you know? And until I came to prison this time, I know for sure, if I would have come to prison this time, I probably wouldn't be alive today. I got stage 4 cirrhosis, so I know if I do go back out there and start drinking, I'm gonna kill myself. And it wouldn't make sense to do all this time and leave my grandkids hanging, you know, which I got one that I think made 3 December 20th. And I ain't 100% sure because, you know, I don't talk to them all the time. But, you know, and then I have, you know, I'm gonna just leave it at that. You know, I'm trying to do everything I can. And I highly, really believe that I am ready for society, you know, to be a productive person, to help anybody in any way I can.
What year you finished Living in Balance 1 and 2? Do you know?
Yes, sir. The Living in Balance, it's on February 15. And then that's when I last time I went forward, he said, well, you might need to go through the Fields Behavior Management Program, because you got addiction and drug courses in there and other things in that. So I went through and I did all that, and I stayed in AANA, which give me a certificate. Even though I got a 4-year certificate, I didn't have an up-to-date one, because when I went through the 4-year, the Fields program, he considered me not going once. At least you got to stay in AA at least once a week after you become a member. And I got one this morning for my up-to-date 60 days of being in AANA, a continued membership, you know. And I've always been in AA in school. Every chance I wasn't in the block for something stupid I did, I stayed in school and in AA. And I did do that if I didn't do nothing else, because I know that's an important part of my life, my education and to stay clean.
Well, I mean, it doesn't look like you stayed clean though. I mean, you had 1, 2, 3 intoxication write-ups in 2018. Then you had another one in 2020. So, I mean, it appears that you still have alcohol problems. Is that?
Yes, sir. I'm always gonna have problems. I'm just gonna do my absolute best to make them as little as possible. Because, I've been sober for a long time, but I do know if I take that wrong step, I'm gonna turn right back into the person I used to be. So I'm not gonna take that wrong step. I'm gonna continue down the right path. I'm not backing up those steps. I'm too old. I got too much to lose out there. I mean, I'm trying to know my grandkids, and maybe my daughters one day might call me dad. I ain't been out there, and ain't nobody knows me on the streets. I've been in prison more than I've been on the streets. And I tell my people that y'all don't know me. People in prison knows me. This is where I've been at all my life. Other than that, I'm doing everything I can to try to get out there to them.
I have no questions.
Warden, what can you tell us about Mr. Guidera?
Mr. Guidera does work at the prison. He does work on the paint crew on one of our units here. He does have 425 days of CTRP credits. He has a moderate title risk score. And as previously stated, during this hearing, he did have a Rule 14, October 14 of 2020. Do have an assessment from the unit where he worked at on the paint crew, positive attitude, good work conduct, positive work performance. That's from the major and the colonel that's on that unit, on Unit 1.
Thank you, Warden.
Warden, how close is he to becoming a Pride member?
Ms. Wise, I would have to check into that because I don't have that right in front of me at this moment.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Mr. Guidera, is there anything you'd like to tell the board before we vote?
Yes, sir. I'd just like to state that after years of incarceration and going through a bunch of the all the programs here, I've learned a lot here. So don't let nobody take nothing away from these programs here, because if I wouldn't went through all that and field program and transition and all them and staying focused, especially AANA, I mean, I really believe that I now take responsibility in my actions. Well, before I still for years and years I didn't feel like I was at fault for all that until I actually come to my senses in these programs and realize that it can't nobody make me do anything. Everything that I do is my choice. And after reading through my human manual, the Bible is what I'm talking. I realized that there's a lot of things that I needed to just let go and let God handle it up. That I couldn't have resentment because it tears you up inside. And every time you wake up, it makes you want to do things that you wouldn't normally do. And until you let go of all that resentment, you can't move forward. But it took me a long time to realize that. Even with family, friends, or anybody, you got to let go and just move forward. Let yesterday be gone and just do your best not to fall back in none of them footsteps you took to get to where you at today.
Thank you very much. We appreciate your comments, Mr. Freeman.
Okay, Mr. Guidera, you're talking a good game. You really are. Now it's time to play the good game. Disciplinary for intoxication in 2020, after you had taken all of those courses, I think you said in your own words that instead of big mess ups, I want little mess ups. Well, another DWI lied to result in a loss of life, either yours or even worse, someone else's. So my vote today is to deny due to your disciplinary record and criminal history, and recommend that they try to get you into a long-term DOC substance abuse treatment.
Thank you, Mr. Freeman. Ms. Wise?
Mr. Troy, I want you to know that I believe you. Like you said, you're doing better. When you can compare to who you were and who you are today, you're proud of yourself. You can look in the mirror now. And I'm glad to see that. I really am. But I'm just not willing to take a chance on you today as well. I want you to continue to work on that high set, try to get in the pride, become a pride member. And I want to urge you to reapply as soon as you're eligible, with no write-ups, no intoxication, and continue to be humble and reach out to your family and ask them to come for your next hearing. Just continue to reach out. You understand now, they work a lot with you. So best wishes to say.
Thank you. Mr. Guidera, I think you've taken the first step. You certainly acknowledge that you are an alcoholic. You acknowledge the problem. I'm not so sure that you really understand the magnitude of the problem. Like Mr. Freeman pointed out, you sort of blow off these intoxication write-ups you had. Oh, I had a little slip. I had a little slip. Where you are now, you've done well, but you're still messing up. And you are in the.
That's for y'all people, man. That's terrible. Y'all all pretty terrible.
Hey,
Y'all have a nice day, and I thank you for your time.
There you go.
Well, you need to be